Hello Stage 3, welcome to your THRASS Lesson 2 for this term. Just remembering we are focusing all of our THRASS lessons and word lists on words from our Science Investigation Unit all about adaptations. So let's have a look at what we've got for Lesson 2. Our 6 words are survival, structural, behavioural, nocturnal, diurnal, and external. And if we're looking at these words and thinking, what are their similarities? Hopefully it's very obvious to you that all of these words end with the same sound. They all end with this ul sound. Survival, structural, behavioural. You can hear this ul sound at the end, and it's made of these grapheme choices of the from the grapheme choice is the letter A, making the phoneme sound from the schwa box, and the ul, the grapheme choice of a single L from the consonants in the THRASS chart. So we've got and ul, making ul all together. Now, as you can see, these grapheme choices of the letter A and the letter L, making the sounds ul, actually all come right at the end of all of these words. But if we think about the ul sound, there's actually more than one way to create that sound using different graphemes. Let's have a look. On the THRASS chart, we can also just make an ul sound using double L. Using two L graphemes together, we might come up with words like ball, follow, jelly, windmill. You can see that sometimes this double L grapheme choice comes at the end of a word. Sometimes it comes in the middle of a word, which is different to our words here at the start. The ul using schwa and an L, they all come at the end of these words. And you can see that before each of these ul sounds comes a consonant of some sort. V, n. Okay, there are consonants of some sort. But with our ul, double L, grapheme choice sound, they often, well actually always, have a vowel that comes before them. And most of these examples, that vowel sound will be a short one. Windmill, I. Jelly, E. Follow, O. Ball. Now ball's a little bit of a funny one because the grapheme choice of the letter A can make so many different sounds. But generally, if we're going to use this particular ul sound, whether it's at the end of the word or whether it's in the middle, it will have a vowel before it, and usually that vowel will be short. Now these are not just the only two ways that we can make an ul sound. There's actually one more way that we can make an ul sound, and that is if we take single L, the grapheme choice of a single L, and a grapheme choice of the letter E, and we put those together. We can make ul. Example words might be words like little, bottle, capable, beetle, and cycle. And there are many, many more examples. You can see two things, hopefully, with this example. The first is that this ul sound, like our AL or our schwa sound, at the start, they're all at the end of these words. And they all have a consonant, at least one consonant, maybe a double, preceding this particular sound. So it's not something that comes after a vowel sound. This is something that always comes after a consonant, like our example at the start. But the other interesting thing to note about this sound is that actually the grapheme choice of the E is not heard by the ear. When we say each of these words, this particular grapheme choice, although it's very important and it's needed to be there, it doesn't come out in a way that we can hear with our ears. We say little. We hear the I, t, but we don't say or e or anything like that at the end. However, if we didn't include the grapheme choice of the E on each of these words, the word would be spelled incorrectly. So it's needed to follow the around, but it's not auditory. It's not able to be heard when we say it out loud. So there we go, 3 different ways to make an sound. I wonder if you can think of any more words besides, of course, single at the start of a word, like lion or lollipop. I wonder if you can think of any other ways that makes a sound in a word. If you can, by all means, write it down in your book. Show your teacher. Very impressive. We're going to, of course, move on to setting up our page 5 columns for the word, thrashing out each word, writing in syllables. Don't forget to show how you have split the word into syllables, as well as record the number of syllables that are present. Defining each word, make sure your definitions are things that you understand, could be put in your own words, a way that you could explain it to somebody else, and the synonyms that you can think of for each of your words. Try and push yourself beyond just one synonym for each word. And of course, if you are very, very quick at that, you can do some extension, writing each list word in IPA. So pause the video here and get going with your thrashing for this week. We'll be back in a minute. All right, hopefully you have finished off your table and you are ready for marking. So get yourself a marking pencil and use this to mark, particularly the thrashing and particularly the syllables. Your definitions might be slightly different to mine, and that's okay, as long as it makes sense to you in a way that you could explain to someone else. And using these synonyms or others that you can maybe check through thesaurus.com or something like that to double check if you've got something that's a little bit different. That's great. So pause the video here, use that for your marking, and we'll see you next time for lesson 3.